unbelievable. It's just unbelievable to see that Tzemach Tzedek learning a sugya. It's mavil esarayin. It's mavil esarayin.
Yeah.
And in this sugya that we just learned in the Shulchan Aruch and the Gemara, we're talking about how you're supposed to light in the Chanukah from the right to the left or the left to the right. We all do it. We're schlepping the light like on the eighth, right? With the eighth night of Chanukah, we do the left, and then we
even the second night.
Second night. Tzemach Tzedek has an unbelievable tshuva on this sugya. Unbelievable tshuva on the sugya. So
why we second right left?
No, because we're learning it now in the Gemara, and then Shittas, the Vailabas, I was talking about Luchadoidi, and the Vailabas talking about Hakbos Sefer, and it's all connected. It's all connected, the right and the left. What's the right way to turn right?
Right.
Huh?
Right way to turn right. Turn right. We're here Sunday.
It
is week, but
last week. Okay.
We
advanced a little bit.
Yeah.
But now we'll learn. We're starting the next week, Parashas Terumah Tetzaveh.
Yeah.
And over there is all about building the Mishkan and the Beis Hamikdash. Kisisa, Vayakov, Pikude, 5 parashas. After that, there is already the Chumash Vayikra, which is about the Karbonos. The Karbonos, everyone likes to learn about the Karbonos, Yeshivish Masechtas Vochim and Ochis. But for some reason, about the building of the Beis Hamikdash and the structure of the Beis Hamikdash, there's a little less Hakoch. The Rebbe had a big Koch in it. And tonight, we're going to a little bit get into this about, but it's also a mixture of a little Avoida in the Beis Hamikdash. So it's a shaykhis the Gemara we're learning. But let's start inside. Siman Samach Zayin lehilkas Chanukah. Siman Tofrish Ayin Vav. Binyan Seder Adlokis Neir Chanukah. You have a copy? It's good.
Yeah.
Good. Mishnah Perikei the Yom Daf Nun Chesam at Beis says V'yotza la Mizbeach Asher Lifnei Hashem Zam Mizbeach Hazov. When he walked out of the Kodesh HaKadoshim, he walked to the Mizbeach Asher Lifnei Hashem. Which is the Mizbeach Asher Lifnei Hashem? That's the inner Mizbeach, the Mizbeach Hazov. The inner Mizbeach Achitzon Lav Lifnei Hashem Hu Yiskel Machata V'yoydet. He would put the blood first on the 4 corners of the Mizbeach, and then he would spritz 7 times on the top of the Mizbeach. This was the last thing he did. After that, the rest of the blood would be spilled on the Yesod of the Mizbeach Achitzon. From the Svir Lei, the high time of the Kopf of Beregel. I'm in the Gemara. Later we're going to say in the Gemara that he would walk around the Mizbeach with his foot. And
that wood.
Because the Gemara is going to say later that the Mizbeach Achitzon, and the Gemara talk at the end of the Gemara says a whole story about 2 Kohanim Gedolim that survived from the first Beis Hamikdash, and the head of Machloikis, one Kohen Gadol said that I was makim beregel, and the other one said biyad, and each one gave a svara for their thing. The Mizbeach Hazov was very small. It was Amma, Al-Amma, Barum Gimel Amas. This cheer is about an Amma, give or take.
Okay.
It's about an Amma. It should be about an hour, a foot and a half. So this cheer and the height. This is just about how big the Mizbeach Hazov was. So one opinion holds that the Kohen Gadol was makif beregel. He walked around and then he smeared the blood on each corner, in each one of the 4 corners. He walked around. And the other opinion said, and like I said, there were 2 Kohanim Gedolim. One said, what do you mean? I did it this way. The other one said, no, I did it that way. The other one said, no, that you stand here and you go with your hand, you put the blood here, put the blood here, put the blood here. You don't really have to walk around. Oh, Be'etzem, the Mizbeach, Shalom Aleichem, how are you?
You could be done with Mizbeach Hazov. It's so small that you could do it.
Right. The Mizbeach, The biggest thing in the Beis Hamikdash was the Mizbeach Hachitzin. The Mizbeach Hachitzin is huge. Mizbeach Hachitzin is 32 amma by 32 amma. So if you go like Chazanish and the ramp, and the height is about 28 amma. So let's go with the Chazanish to say to simplify it. So 32 amma is 64 feet. It's big, right? 64 feet by 64. Yeah. Wow, it's big, right? And 60 foot high. It's huge, huge. Mizbeach Chitzin is huge. Every keren, they had 4 corners, 4 corners sticking out. Right, they would pour down the blood. The wine, the water, the nesachim, the pour. So every keren was as big as an amma al amma.
Like the Mizbeach Hazov.
Right. The Mizbeach Hazov was tiny, bedini. You could fit the whole Mizbeach Hazov onto one corner of the Mizbeach Hachitzin. The Mizbeach Hachitzin, every one of the 4 corners was an amma al amma. The whole Mizbeach Hazov, the whole Mizbeach Hapnimi was only an amma. Just so you get, because then the Gemara is going to say it was a machloikis and 2 Kohanim Gedolim when they did the blood in the 4 corners of the Mizbeach Hapnimi. Did you walk around or you did it with your hand? One said, oh, you walk around just like in Mizbeach Chitzin. You got to walk. Oh, there's an extra copy. Okay, good. Someone comes still with one more copy.
You're coming from which in order to do
you come out of the Kodesh HaKadoshim
and Yom Kippur,
and that's
it's right there. The Mizbeach Hazov is right there.
Because the Mizbeach Hazov is on the center. So he
doesn't have to make a right. Doesn't have to make a. He just.
Soon we're gonna see if he's making a right or left.
No,
or
the menorah is on the right. So
yeah, let's make
that
a picture.
we spoke about. He need to make a right for the menorah.
Yeah, but that's when he's going for the menorah. Let's talk about. We're sitting in the shul. Mizrach is here. Maidav is here. Here is Mizrach. Here is Dorim. Here is Safan. Okay, so we have the Kodesh HaKadoshim is here. So say he's coming out of the
right in the center, the door.
Here.
The paroches, 2 paroches.
2 paroches. Now we'll talk soon. Right. No. The holiday said that in the first Beis Hamikdash, there was Amma Traxen. There was the wall between the Kodesh HaKadoshim was like 1 Amma, and the second Beis Hamikdash was a zigzag. So he came out. The halacha, bottom line is the way that we paskin is that there were 2 paroches. So the one paroch, he came out b'tzad dorim. He came out b'tzad dorim. Here, let's start off with how he came out.
In the Mizbeach,
he came in to do the avodah in the Kodesh HaKadoshim. He walked out. He was at the Dorim side of the Beis Hamikdash. This is where he walked out.
And the Mizbeach is up in the center.
The Mizbeach is in the center. We have the menorah. Let's do menorah Kilu Tzaf and Dorim Hoymunach.
Should bring a picture from the.
Let's do Mizrach Maidav Hoymunach. And then we have the Shulchan. And then whatever, it's the other way, but okay, it's fine. Here's the Mizbeach Hapnimi. So he walked out after they did the avodah, he did the Ktoiris and the Lefnai Lefnim, and he walked out. And as he got out over here, he said a Tefillah Ktsara, and then he's going to get to doing the avodah by the Mizbeach Hazov. Mizbeach Hapnimi. Okay, let's go back in. Oh. Let's start again, quick.
It makes more sense that he stand in one place and will be the finger 4 places.
Right. Yeah. Why should he have to walk around? Zog the Mishnah, Perikei Diyuma, Yotza Mizbeach Shelifnei Shema Mizbeach Hazov. Mizbeach Chitzon Lav Lifnei Hashem. He's called Machata v'Yored. Pishum Tzvira Lahaytana Kof Berego Klimin Megemara v'Chomatana Matana. Oise Bekeren Shelafana V'Samach Lev. Tzarech Shelitan Melamai Lamata. He would put the blood and would smear it from top to bottom. Keichadelo Nitvasi money that his clothes shouldn't get stained was also for him to have stains on his clothing. Nok Losh Machata v'Yored. Machata Losh Yedid who Okay. Meichno maschil. How does he go? The Mishnah says, maschil mekeren mizrachis tzvainis.
The closest one to the
Mizrachis. Here is Mizrach. So this was number one. Mizrachis tzvainis. Tzvainis maravis. Maravis deraimis. And then deraimis mizrachis. Here. He started with basically, he did Tzafan Mizrachis, Tzafan Maravis, then he did Darim. Darim Maravis, Darim Mizrachis.
it makes sense. Like
He's got to go around. He's got to go around. Okay.
Not right, left.
The Vailu, we're soon going to get where's the right and the left, and where did he show him hold. That's the way it goes. That's according to the mission. That's the way Allah is. Makim shuhu maschel b'chatas al mizbeach achitzon v'ayna v'kenen b'reimis mizrachitz kitman be'ezo makamim, which we say every morning. Sham goimer al mizbeach pnimi. I'm in the Gemara. We'll say soon. The Mishnah says that if you were in the mizbeach achitzon, which is, as we said, it's mammoth, it's huge. Mizbeach achitzon. So he would walk up that ramp from the Dorim, and then he would start at the Keren. Yeah, this would be the first. So, and this would be second, this would be third, and this would be the fourth. So, where the Mishnah says, wherever he starts, like we say every morning in the Ezo Mekaiman, that where you start, and when you walk up the ramp, where you start your Avodah, the Kohanim walking around the four pinos. So this is where he ends in the Avodah on the Mizbeach HaPnimi. Okay. Continue. Zog the Gemara, Rebbe Eliezer, Oimer, lo yemakifu beragla, sherekula ema alam alama merubas. Rebbe Eliezer said, why do you have to walk around? It's only an ama and ama. He was standing in one place, and he did, with his finger, he went around the Mizbeach. Punkt verkehrt. I guess it would be more efficient. He has more because over there
Make more sense.
I guess if you're bending over, so you're less likely to get stained by going with the blood like this. Like this, you put it right in the blood. You're more likely to get stained. So all the three places you went like this, and the one corner where he's standing, that's where he went down. Okay. All this that we learned is not so important for our sugya today, but that's what the mission is talking about. Everything is important. Okay. So it's a shaila on the Rambam that okay, let's leave that. Okay. The Gemara Tony Rabbanon, because this is where it really starts. Let's negate us. The Gemara Tony Rabbanon history. Where does he start? There is a machloikus in the Gemara in the Braisa, and our Mishnah really holds like one opinion. Tony Rabbanon history. Tony Rabbanon history machata v'yored meichno maschal bekeren. Mizrachis deraimis. He starts from Darim. So I'm just going to make another because for the Bakiva, we'll build another Mizbeach for the Bakiva. So according to the Bakiva, he started in Darim, in Mizrach. So he went 1, 2, 3, 4. The opposite, mamish the opposite. According to the Bakiva, he went around this way. According to the Bakiva, this is the way he's going around. The akofos he's making in order to put the blood in the four corners, mamish the opposite of Rabbi Yossi Aglili. According to Rabbi Akiva,
Talking about which Mizbeach she's talking about.
Mizbeach HaPnimi, because we're talking about the blood that he puts on the four corners of the Mizbeach HaPnimi. In the Mizbeach Hazov, yeah.
Okay.
Ton Rabban Hischel Machata B'Yered Heicha Maschal Mekeren Mizrachis Draimis Maravis Tzvainis Mizrachis Divi Rebbe Akiva. Rebbe Yossi Aglili Omer, no, like the center picture. And Rabbi Yosef Glili said, no. Mikaren, Mizrachis, Tzfainis, Maravis, Deraimis, Mizrachis. Mokim Sherebi Yosef Glili Maschil, Shom Rebbe Akiva Paisek. Mokim Sherebi Akiva Maschil, Shom Rebbe Yosef Glili Paisek. Masnissen sagt die Gemara Rabbi Yosef Glili. Our Mishnah paskin like Rabbi Yosef Glili. It's not Mishnah like Rabbi Yosef Glili. Keine Beteres, keine Parshas Achille, v'chein Pasuk Rama Perigdal Hilchos. Avoidus Yom Kippurim Perikei B'Maisa Karbonas Aloch Yudal. Stam Mishnah v'chein Pidish Rashi B'chumash Parshas Achille. Al Pasuk v'Yotza Al Mizbeach. Which over there it says Yotza Al Mizbeach, and he would put the blood on the four corners and then spray 7 times on the top of the Mizbeach.
Beside the Kohen Gadol that's over there and doing it, anybody seeing his avoidance on the Mizbeach Hazor? Kodesh Kodoshim for sure nobody sees.
No, Pashtus not. Pashtus not.
Because they came coming in.
Pashtus, they were not there. And Takazoi, that's why the Gemara says later that in the second Beis Hamikdash, they had 2 Kohanim that were arguing what they did. One said they did it.
Each one did is
one Gedarshin Tazay and one Gedarshin Tazay. How is it possible that it should be 2 Kohanim Gedolim left from the first Beis Hamikdash to the second Beis Hamikdash? So the Pashtus, I would say, because Kohen Gadol, if they had a Keri, so there would be another Kohen Gadol Tafta. So it could be Shaykh. The second, the Golus was 70 years. So if in the last 1 or 2 years of the first Beis Hamikdash there was a Kohen that was Solomon 20 years old, he had to be very young.
so he's 90 years old.
Now he's 90 years old, and he's a Kohen Gadol. And the other guy must. It's as I was saying, the Gemara says it was a machloikis. If they went away around Beyad Beregel, it was a machloikis. 2 Kohanim Gedolim as man Beis Edishon. Each one came to the Bezin to say, "What do you mean talking about?" You ask him what I did it. So they say, "Why?"
That's the way.
Ich gedarshen. One said ich gedarshen. You got to go around Beregel. The one said that my gedarshen davgem Beyad. So and they were both from the first Beis Hamikdash. And the only way I can imagine, unless a person was really old and he wasn't fit to serve. So really old means what, 70, 80? So now you have to put 70, 70 together. And now
Kohen could only from 1 to 50, I think.
No, that was a Levium. The Kohen is only if he's not fit to serve anymore. So Kohen Gadol.
Kohen Gadol is 20.
I can't say. Was if he was a big tzaddik.
Like a Blazer Ben Azariah.
Yeah. It was like a Blazer Azariah Rekinovich Shemishana. I mean, just with Pashtus, the tzitkus of a Kohen Gadol was a little different than I'm just sad balabatish. Now I'm talking like super balabatish.
And survive, Kodesh.
Yeah, that's a nest that he survived. I'm saying the tzitkus of a Kohen Gadol is different than the tzitkus that you're thinking of a Rebbe, of a tzaddik, of a Nosem Yisrael. Rabbi Yechim Zakai was a leader of Klal Yisrael. We think of the tzitkus of Rabbi Yechim Zakai, Rabbi Akiva, Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai. It's a different type of tzitkus. I say Kohen Gadol needed to be a tzaddik. It's a different type of tzidkus. We mean a Yiddish Shemayim, Shalom v'Maisav. Presumably, he needed to be a Chevraman too. He had to get after the Malach. The Gemara says about so many things that were done. That was Zuman Avodas HaKosher Sheba Mikdash. It was appropriate, to throw it up, to catch every drop. V'chulu. So even if he was, usually. These young people are. So he's not Pirchei Kohuna. So they picked one of the Pirchei Kohuna. He was an 18-year-old, and he was served as a Kohen for 2-3 years. I'm just saying, it's funny how the Gemara ended up that in the second Beis Hamikdash, they still had 2 Kohanim Gedolim around that served in the Kodesh HaKadoshim, and both came to say Eidus about what they did. One said we walked around Beyad, one said we walked around Beregel. Okay. Sag die Gemara, the Kuli Alma Mia, Bahukan, the Pagiberesha, Loy have Ovid. Everyone agrees, the side of Akiva and Rabbi Aglili, that the Keren, right when you went out of the Kodesh HaKadoshim, that one you didn't touch. Why? He's walking out of the Kodesh HaKadoshim. The Kodesh HaKadoshim was Betzad Ma'idov. Here's Mizrach, here's Ma'idov, right? The Kodesh HaKadoshim was Betzad Ma'idov. So he's walking from the Ma'idov to the Mizrach. So the first, the first 2 corners that were close to the Kodesh HaKadoshim wouldn't touch those. Why? My time. Amashmol da makro v'yotza el hamizbeach ad nofek mekulam mizbeach. It says v'yotza el hamizbeach. When the Torah says v'yotza el hamizbeach, he has to walk out. He can't be at the edge of the mizbeach. He has to walk out towards the mizbeach. Rebbe Akiva nakiv derech yamin. Frag the Gemara, why is Rebbe Akiva going the wrong way? L'chayda, Rebbe Yisrael Glili is right. Rebbe Yisrael Glili is walking around derech yamin. Leimer Rebbe Akiva shemakiv l'smoil. Rebbe Yisrael Glili makiv liyamin. At kalosh kanashi. U pirish mashel Rebbe Akiva nikra makiv l'smoil. Lena kavana mashahelach l'keren vremis mizrachis. The first corner that he goes, Badaminish, Kizelo Nikra Klop Poina Lismail, Kimashakech Poina, Mikeren, Dremis Mizrachis, Lekeren, Dremis Maravis, Zanikra Poina Lismail, the Pirish Rashi. Rashi saying that the Kohen Gadol, the Yotzalam is Beach. So according to Rebbe Akiva, this is the first blood that he puts. Now he starts going this way. That's called, he's going Derech Smoil. Why is Rebbe Akiva walking all of a sudden derech smile? That's what the Gemara is asking. Why is he all of a sudden walking derech smile? V'choyze derech smile. Rebbe Yosef Glili nikra makiv liyamin. Mashen kerem zrachis tzfaynis. Hoylech lekeren tzfaynis maravis. So why is he walking derech smile? In other words, it's bothering the Gemara. So zog the Gemara b'derami b'chama kar miflagi.
Basically, it's not going left.
This is exactly what we're. This is the truth. That the Gemara Namton that Rabbi Yossi Aglili is walking right. So let me skip a little bit and goes to the point that Tzemach Tzedek is going to say. Tzemach Tzedek is going to say that what happened over here. The Kohen Gadol walked out. This is Ma'ariv. This is Mizrach. He walked from there. He came this way, and let me just get it for a second. That's very good. Say the Kodesh HaKadosh is there. He finished and he walked out of the Kodesh HaKadosh. He walked, and he came. This is exactly the dimensions of the Mizbeach Azohov.
Wow.
He came here, and it says V'yotz al Mizbeach, and the Tosfos Yishonim says that Yotz min Mizbeach, not like Rashi, Yotz al Kula Mizbeach. He has to walk. His whole body has to pass the Mizbeach. Okay. Now that he passed through the Mizbeach, he obviously has to turn. He's not going to start spritzing the blood. Yeah, he's got to turn around. So now he's standing like this. So his face is to the Kodesh HaKadosh. So the Gemara says that Rabbi Yosef Glili does right. Rabbi Akiva, I don't understand. Why is Rabbi Yosef Glili doing right? Because Rabbi Yosef Glili starts here. That's called Derech Yamin. Starts here.
No, that's left.
Oh, that's right.
That's left.
That's right.
It's my right hand.
Yeah.
But you're soon going to see now that all the Rishonim and the Machaba, everyone was wrong. Because if you learn the Gemara straight, you see that the point of Derech Yamin means like the Lavush. So the Gemara says Rabbi Yosef Glili started right over here. So Rabbi Yosef Glili had a choice. The Kohen Gadol walked out of the Kodesh HaKadosh.
Why can he make this corner first?
He had a choice. He could have taken this corner first.
Right.
But if you ask the Mechaber, and you ask the Menam Rottenberg and the Mariel and the Trumas, and you ask the Bnei Reinus, they would have said, what do you mean? What does it mean, Derech Yamin? You schlep the left to the right. Just like with the Menorah, when your second night of Hanukkah, what do they say?
Left or right?
This candle and this candle. And they call that Derech Yamin. The Gemara says, what are you talking about? That's like a problem. The Gemara has a problem with that. Because it's Rebbe Akiva. Rebbe Akiva Taka starts here and then goes east. That's Derech Smart. Rebbe Yosef Aglili, the Gemara says, is good. It's Derech Yamin. Standing right here. And the first thing he does, he has a choice. This corner or this corner. Which corner does he pick? This corner. That's Derech Yamin. Once he's done here, goes here. Weiter gewonnen Derech Yamin. Weiter gewonnen Derech Yamin. And the Gemara says that Rebbe Yosef Glili makes sense. And the Allah is talking Rebbe Yosef Glili. The Mishnah is like Rebbe Yosef Glili. The Gemara wants to know what's going on with Rebbe Akiva. The Gemara is going to give 4 answers to Rebbe Akiva. Remember, Rebbe Akiva is not the Allah. One answer is Rebbe Akiva doesn't hold Kol Pina Shata Poina Lo Yal Yamin. Again, the Allah is not like Rebbe Akiva. Second answer is that Rebbe Akiva holds of Kol Pina Shata Poina. That's everywhere besides in the Kodesh. Lo lemeidim pnim mechutz. We don't learn pnim from chutz. Okay. A third is that he holds you really must do always pniya derech yamin, but he holds that that over here that he didn't walk around. He only did it biyad, and yad is not like a regel. It's only when you walk around with your foot, and but yad you don't learn from regel. And then there's a fourth teretz which we'll see soon that the Gemara slugs up. So, but we see from here this is going to be the big thing that the Tzemach Tzedek is. If you learn the Gemara gleich, what does it mean? Derech. What does it mean? Kol pinashat the point of derech mean the Kohen Gadol walked out from the Kodesh HaKadoshim. He must pass the Mizbeach, Yotze ala Mizbeach. He must turn, and now he has a choice. It's as if he had two candles in front of him. And the Gemara says, "Oh, this is what he does." That's what the basically, and the Mishnah says, and that's the halacha. He starts here and he walks around. He goes, "This is derech yamin." If it was true that what the Machaber said, that you start from the left and you go towards the right, that's called pniya derech yamin. So when he's standing here, why didn't he put the blood here? Elamai, we see from this Gemara that pniya derech yamin doesn't mean that you go like this, light this candle and then this candle. Here, this is called pniya derech yamin. This is called pniya derech yamin.
So why the first night of Hanukkah we light the menorah on the right side? Should light it on the left side. Oh.
No, the first night is good. We put the menorah on, and then we put the candle on the right side, and we lit it there. First night is no problem. The first night is the kishmak, no problem. The problem is the second night. The second night we have two candles. So if you ask the lavush is like me. Look at your right hand. That's Yimid. Like that one. The Machaber, the Maramerot, the Bnei Reinus, and the Madil, and the Termes Hadeshen, and that's La Halacha, and that's what we do. That we go first here and then here, but that's not what the whole side of the Gemara called Pinas. The biggest sugya is here in this is Yuma Daf Noach. Gamet's in another half a dozen places in Shas, but
You say about Batash when you're moving your whole body, then you're going to go right. When you're moving your hands, you go right.
yeah. But that's like what the Gemara is later going to say. The Gemara is going to machalik that the yad is different from regel.
Yeah.
When you're moving your hand, everything is different. But Tzemach Tzedek and to them, he has what to say about that also.
Someone said this is the Alter Rebbe's grandson.
Yeah. Yeah, this is an unbelievable truth. That Tzedek went through the sugya, like his style, like going through, and he goes through the Gemara very gruntig. And at the end, he says, "Oh, Al-Khazman, we got the tshuva that was just published from Chassam Sofer." And he writes the opposite of me. He says, "I don't understand how Galad does krum." He says, Nika Shekosa Zevimei Chorfa. He was very young when he wrote it. Kosa B'shtase, Avkuf Samach, Vayesh B'sifri, Tshuvas Musavkuf. It's funny, the Shevet Sofer, today you find everything, and it's a chokhmah. Someone wrote to the Eniko, some Sofer, that, the Tzemach Tzedek, you have to stand up for the cover of the Yizayda. So he writes a tshuva, he tries, whatever, but it's very hard to push around the Tzemach Tzedek. Tzemach Tzedek is going to show you how he's learning the Gemara, and it will be very hard to, after you learn the Gemara with the Tzemach Tzedek, it will be very hard to wiggle out of it. The Gemara, that the Machloikis is about Rami Bar Yecheskel. Rami Bar Yecheskel, Yamshos, Shloimeh, Oimed Al, Shnei Masabok. And they state in the Pasuk. Shlomo Melech made this marvelous thing. When you came into the Beis Hamikdash, there was just like you have today fountains, like
the Mara looked like far away. Looked like
there was like three huge bulls sitting on it, and three on each side, and on top of them there was a huge basin of water. So this is like an old in the ancient days. We're talking about days of Shlomo Melech. We're talking about 3,000 years ago, close to 3,000 years ago. And Shlomo Melech built this very impressive thing as he came into the Beis Hamikdash.
From far away, it looked like an ocean.
It looks like an ocean. And when you came, you saw these 12 husky bulls, and three on each side, and they were carrying this big yam oimed aleim. But the lashon of the pasuk, the way the pasuk says, it says Tzafim Mizrach Dorim the pasuk says Tzafim Ma'ariv Dorim Mizrach. So when we would learn the pasuk is just saying, but the Gemara darshans that when a person came to the Beis Hamikdash, you couldn't just walk straight because in front of you there was this mammoth fountain with the bulls, so you couldn't. You walked up the Har HaBayis, and all of a sudden you came here, you couldn't pass because there was this huge the bulls with the things. So the Gemara Darshans the pasuk, the Klal Yisrael would turn. So which way did they turn? They turned this way. No. It was a seder. So that seder Lubavitch. There's a seder that they would have here. Say here was the yam. They would be pointed derech yamin. That was what the pasuk was saying. They would go like this. Yeah. They would go first to Tzofan, then to Maidiv, then to Doran, then to Mizrach. They would go around. They would walk around the fountain. Maybe it's covered for the Beis Hamikdash. I think, well, why? I mean, they weren't tossing coins in the fountain.
Right. It's like kikar lefanecha, when you have a high.
Yeah. How much kikar lefanecha? And they would go around. But the seder of going around is they would walk like this. They walked Tzofan,
right.
Maidiv, Dora, Mizrach. That's what the Gemara is darshaning from the pasuk. That's when the Eden walked into the Beis Hamikdash. That's how they would walk. Nami Rama by Yechetzkel Yasser Shloime Oimed Shnei Masabaka Shloisha Poinim Tzfoina Shloisha Poinim Yama Shloisha Poinim Negba Shloisha Poinim Mizrach Vayam Aleim Alamayla V'chol Achereim Boisa V'yam Shel Nachoisha Shosha Shloime the Ksiv Shloisha Poinim Tzofen. It's Dibra Masche Divrei Hayomim Beis Medal Mlochim Alav Zayin Mikra Zeh Moina V'Herlach Derech Yamin Amakef Es Hayam Bo. So how does he do? He goes as from Sofan Lemaidev Ledorim Medorim Lemizrach Derech Yamin Makif Halamadato Shekol Pina Shata Poina Lo Yiyeh Poina Elav Derech Yamin Lemizrach. These are the words of the Gemara. All the brackets is some tzedek. That's from here you learn. That's what the Rami by Yecheskel taught us. Yeah, let's skip this brackets. Okay. Mar Islay the Rami by Yecheskel, Mar Leslie the Rami by Yecheskel. The Gemara said, so you know what? Rabbi Yosef Glili accepted Rami by Yecheskel, the Kol Pina Shetapayna Elav Derech Yamin, and Rabbi Akiva rejected this thing of Kol Pina Shetapayna Derech Yamin. The Gemara Lloyd, the Kul Alma Islu, the Rambam Yecheskel. Everyone holds of Rambam Yecheskel. Bacha gemiflegi. Marasava yafina pnei mechutz. Marasava lo yafina pnei mechutz. That the shaila is, if we for sure, whenever you turn, you have to turn around. B'derech yamin. The shaila is of also in the pnim was the same rule. Rabbi Akiva nida lo yalaf pnei mechutz. Taka Rabbi Akiva doesn't learn pnim from chutz. In fact, the Gemara iboy hechi ne'aved iboy hechi ne'aved. So why does Rabbi Akiva have a preference? Why the Kohen Gadol must do it one way? So Rabbi Yosef Glila has a preference. You must do it derech yamin. Rabbi Akiva should say every Kohen Gadol should decide whatever he wants. Amalach Rabbi Akiva said no. I have a cheshbon. Medina behuker in the page bereisha bahu avid bereisha. Omer ishlokeshem avirin ala mitzvahs v'malaik or loika avid mishum deksiv yotz ala mizbeach ad nofach mekol mizbeach. The kivin the avid behuker and hoder asi lahiker and the chayv lemitum bereisha. So let's stop here for a second. Rabbi Akiva said, my cheshbon of how he walks around has nothing to do with Kol Pina Shetapayna. I have a cheshbon, Rabbi Akiva. What's my cheshbon? Because it says, V'yotza lamizbeach, he walked out of the Kodesh HaKadoshim. He has to pass. He's not allowed to. He has to pass the mizbeach. So
he can't start on the first 10.
He can't start from the first 10. It seems out that someone is going to say soon that he didn't have to, according to Rashi, mamish walk, like he just have to pass at least most of the mizbeach. So he could start here. But he already insulted the first canon. This canon got deeply insulted.
Yeah, but he didn't. It's a mizbeach. He didn't pass the whole mizbeach.
Okay, but the Torah gesagt, he has to. So when he passed this canon, the canon got so insulted until next Yom Kippur. This canon couldn't get over it. That it got so insulted that the Kohen Gadol would pass it. So the Kohen Gadol has to be mephayas it. So Taka the Eibusha said the Yotzam Mizbeach is to start here, but right away he has to make mephayas this canon, and then he goes here, and then he goes here.
What is
so even though he's not going derech yamin, Because or whatever, we don't hold that made in Pnimi Chutz. So why does Rabbi Akiva have a psacheshbon for the Kohen Gadol? Let him do whatever he wants. No. He can't do whatever he wants. Because when he walked out, this first corner got deeply insulted, and he has to be Matthias the first corner. So he has to go back to make good with this corner, and he's already went here, so he goes around.
So then he's the left.
There, he's going left, but that's the cheshbon. I'm not going with, says Rabbi Akiva, with the idea of Kol Pina Shatapona Derech Yamin. Pira Shashi Kasov Shnei Paroch Kasoyu. Vachitzerne Prufa Min Adorim. The Nam Masnissen. Kshotzim Veskedish Kadoshim. Derech Adorim Azeh Ala Parochis. Yeshishlam Bola Lemizbeach Ledremis Maravis. Shehi Rishain Aloy. The Sham Aloy Noisim. Kedaminin the Beina Viyotz Adenaf. Kolomizbeach Laflikach Yoitza. Lemizrach is Dremis Amaschel Sham Vachoiza Derech Smoil. Taki goes back Derech Smoil, says Rashi. Lamarav is Dremis Ad Kan Lashaina. So before we continue, the Gemara says it's in the same Perek in Yuma that when they came back to rebuild the second Beis Hamikdash, they didn't know what to do. They knew there was an Amatraxin that was between the Kodesh and the Kodesh HaKadoshim. When they didn't know, and in front of the door to going to the Kodesh HaKadoshim is supposed to be a curtain, but they had a suffix. Where should that wall that's big in Amma? Amma's pretty big,
Yeah.
The wall, it's 2 feet thick. But where is it supposed to be? Built on the property of the Kodesh or the Kodesh HaKadoshim? So they couldn't figure it out. So they made the Kodesh should be 20 Amma. I'm sorry, 40 Amma. Kodesh HaKadoshim 24 Amma, and they left 1 Amma vacant in between, and they put 2 curtains, 1 curtain on the side of the Kodesh and 1 on the Kodesh HaKadoshim.
So 61 amas.
So it was altogether 61 amas, right?
Wait, when they make two paroches, you could make the right side the first parocha, the petach.
Oh, so they made it in a way, and this is the halacha, that the Kohen Gadol walked in mitzad dorim. He walked in mitzad dorim. So say here was the Kodesh HaKadoshim, he would walk in from that corner over there. He walked in mitzad dorim. We have this picture. Here is where he walked in. Remember,
Where's the pesach?
here is the Kodesh HaKadoshim, here is the menorah, here is the shulchan.
The pesach from the first parocha, on the right side or the left side.
So right when he come in, if he's walking this, it's on his left side. It's on his left side. If he's walking towards don't say right or left, because then it depends if he's walking in or out. So you'll confuse yourself. When he's going in, it was on his left side. It was in the Tzad HaDorim.
So you can see.
Huh? When he walked into the Kodesh HaKadoshim,
where's the
his opening was on the left.
Prophet's staying.
Right.
Which side of the prophet is opening? The right side or the left side?
So it was on this side, which was on his left side as he's walking in. Right. So that's the halach. Mashma b'gemara da'afa pikein da'afka mishum der Bakiva lo yolef ponim mechutz vein shayach kan kol pinas. The Gemara is mashma that Bakiva didn't have the issue of kol pinas.
When you go out from the Kodesh HaKadoshim, his face is not the Kodesh HaKadoshim.
When he walked out, he walked out
backward.
Sinish Poshet, how he walked out. It's
because I want to know when he's walking now.
But for sure,
make a right turn or left turn.
The Pashtus, when he walked out, he like this. When he was in the Kodesh, he backed up.
Right.
He backed up, and then he got to that side, side that softened, right? And he backed up like this, and then he got into the curtain. When he got into the curtain, he went like this. By the way, it's a pretty narrow curtain. So 1 amma only.
Right.
Remember, he has to hold one hand. He has to hold the machta. One hand he didn't have a lot of wiggle room here.
Yeah.
Probably while he walked, his hands touched the 2 curtains. So he walked and he walked a straight line, the whole distance. And when he got here to the Donim, he walked out. Right here, he said the Tefillah Ktsara, and now he's walking towards the Mizbeach Hazov, which again, according to the B'yosei Aglili, what happened was he walked like this, and then he turned, and now he's ready to do the avodah. So the Gemara, and again, according to the Bakiva, the Gemara says, why is he doing everything the opposite? So the Gemara says an interesting pshat, because he passed the first Kenan. This Kenan got deeply insulted and hurt. So now he went from here back to the Matthias. This Kenan, so he's already here, so he's going around. Okay, so you will haskell b'mizrachas deraimes, v'achar marov is deraimes. Kedeshav meheira lahu Kenan echayiv lamitam bereisha. Lila have a yolif ponim mechutz. V'hoya kana achiv the kolpinas. If Rebbe Akiva would have held that also in the Kodesh there's a chiyuv of kolpinas, hoya mechuyev lahakiv derech kemin kediv Rebbe Yossi Aglili. Dav have a mesacher lo v'lahu Kenan. Even if the lachode he deeply insulted the first Kenan. The chayiv lamitam bereisha. I don't care. Imishum the chiyuv kolpinas chomer hu mahudeim avir in alamitzas. Either because the whole idea of kol penis is more important than ema vidim ala mitzvahs, because maybe because this will be fetish from a pasuk and this is a svara. Oi, afagav the shkulas gain, hoch shine the behechlich kvar over my hukeren. Wie have shel haskell by mamish to ksi v'yotz behechlich tzarich lahaskell bekeren acheres. Rak an aftusa ben shia keren ahushniya shlishis. As a vade achiv the kol penis kamet tvei lahochrich mukhrich kashas loima der bekiva lo yolu. Kohanim chutz klal al rakiksha nihid lo yol makom kemi boy hochin evet as a shape tam given the medina bukeren. That in other words like this. It's mashra from the Gemara. Theoretically, the Bakiva would like to go like Rabbi Yossi Aglili. It's just that he holds that we don't learn that in the pnim of the kodesh you need to do kol pinas. But if he would have learned that the pnim should be like the chutz, he also would have said like Rabbi Yossi Aglili. So, but wait a minute. But you said that you're very, this corner is deeply insulted and hurt. So why you not consider it with the feelings of the first canon? In other words, the feelings of the first canon is not stam human feelings. It's a din. Why is the first canon insulted? Because the first canon knows what Eishlach said. That So someone says I give you two pshat, or is because cold penis is more important. Or in this case, called penis. Why? Because he already insulted this guy. He already started here. Mm-hmm. He's just going to go be Matthias. This guy ain't no fool. He knows he's the second in command. He's not the first. So if you would say called penis, so shine. So he's going to be the last guy. Anyway, he's not going to be the first guy. So, but either way, if we would have learned Pnimi Chutz, Rebbe Akiva, in other words, he's going through this whole thing to show that Rebbe Akiva, in principle, also holds of the idea of kol pinash at the point ein point ela derech yamin. Klafiza kosher mashpida shirashi betime der Rabbi Yossi Aglili domer maschil mekenen mizrachis tzvayne savalo Rabbi Yossi the masnis and domer lo yisham ala parochas achar. So proof min atzofen. Shegomer matonis pnim yotz derech tzofen poga chile betzvaynes marav is the mizbeach. V'sham lo yonois nachiyotzo ba loy lemizrachis tzvaynes. The nois Hashem v'choize l'tzvaynes marav is derech yamin ad kal l'shayne. Okay, so let me. I'm sorry, Amos. Let me show you. Rashi was. There is another opinion that says that the parochas isn't opened by the dawn. It was opened all the way in the other corner.
Wow.
There was one parochas, but that's not the point. It opened up. It opened up. L'tzad sof Amos. That sheet to hold there was only one parochas, but it opened up l'tzad sof. So Rashi says. That the Rebbe Akiva, what was that? That Rashi says that what happened was according to that the Rabbi Yossi Aglili, that Rabbi Yossi Aglili held, he came all the way from that side. So he came walking like this.
So the other side he comes to.
He came here.
That's the right way.
Yeah. Either way, it's a sub, but the Tzemach Tzedek is not understanding. But the Tzemach Tzedek is bothered because Lepoil, that Rashi is making Rabbi Yossi Aglili not hold the Hilchasa. We hold that the law is like Rabbi Yossi Aglili. Ki Hilchasa, we paskin that the opening of the Kodesh HaKadoshim was there. Rashi makes it sound as if these two Hilchasas don't sit together. It's a Kashi Hilchasa. That's why the Tzemach Tzedek is going to prefer to learn like the Tosfos Yeshonim. Elamai is going to explain why Rashi couldn't have learned like the Tosfos Yeshonim, and it's not in the Gela Hilchasa what Rashi said, but he's going to explain what was bothering Rashi. Fize kosher mash für die Rashi betam der Beis Hamikdash. Aber maschel mekeren mizrach isfain isavalo ki der Beis Hamikdash masnis na malo shon porach zach so prof mena tsofen kshegamer matnas pnim v'yotze derech tsofen poget zulu betzvaynes marav is mizbeach v'shem lo nas shiase ubal lo mizrach isfain is neus and shem v'chayz lo tzvaynes marav is derech yamin at kan l'shayne. Lo motzerch Rashi lechadish v'loime the stam masnis na asa ki der Beis Hamikdash pliga masnis in the Leo, which is also the halacha. Da mischte perechs haben, vesile ke Rabbi Yossi sham. Valoi osi shaper, afim name the shte perechs out. Afo piken, tzarech len again, ke de lahakiv derechimin. Ef shalom the dochke l'rashi, mishum dim kein, he de tzarech lahakiv derechimin, yaschel mekeren. Deraimis, mizrachis, doho hu keren, gam kem poget chila koidem, en keren, mizrachis, tzafainis, imtem tsulem sheper sag ja vim kein yaschal kapon mekenen der roimes mizrachis vakich mizrachis feines shadei ze makev der khimin velakhin utzrach lashlam the svila prechasach vyotz der tzof. Before we read it inside, explain what Rashi is saying. What the Tzedek is saying, that according to Rashi, he didn't hold that the Kohen went all the way like this. He held that the Kohen walked like this, and then he stopped. So even if you start with Derech Yamin, he could start here. And so the Rashi, that the Tosfos Yeshonim's brilliance was to say he came out of there, but when he came here, he turned like this. So that's why the Beis Hamikdash said this is Derech Yamin. Mashenki and Rashi, who held V'yotz al Mizbeach, doesn't mean that he went 100%.
Not the detour.
Yeah. So then Rashi, if Itake came from that side,
What's this on the bed then?
Yotzel Mizbeach, according to Rashi, meant he walked like 90% past the Mizbeach.
Oh, but
95%,
doesn't mean that he
but not mamish 100%. According to Tosfos Yeshonim, he turned. So according to Tosfos Yeshonim, you could keep the door of your Kodesh HaKadoshim right there, which is the halacha. You can also keep the halacha like Rabbi Yossi, because the Kohen Gadol walked out of there, and then he turned around, and that's where he starts. He starts with right over here, which is Tzfain is Mizrachis, and then he went around.
pardon my
Yeah, sure.
what's the kind of doing on each
On each corner, he's putting the blood.
that came
Smearing
when?
from the Dama Por to Dama Soyer.
But he just came out of the kind of Chikadachim. How do you have a chance to get the blood?
So they kept it. There was a little thing that they kept for him.
Well,
they put
where exactly was it?
It was a can that was right outside of the.
A can is.
It was like a table, and they had like two dishes. And when he walked out, he picked them up. So he had them already in his hand.
And so there are times when the Kohen Gadol walks up the ramp.
That's
sprinkled blood.
That's all the way outside Mizbeach HaChitzon.
And
because
there the sprinkling of blood is done on the corners, but from the exactly how's it
over there it depends. Some as a rule of thumb, Mizbeach HaChitzon, there was a chut shel sikra. There was a red ribbon around, and the Kodesh Kadoshim blood went on top of it, and Kodesh Kalim blood went under it. Anyway, we're talking now about Mizbeach HaPnimi.
And the blood sprinkled from the outside of the.
Yeah, and over there also they just sprayed it. Here it was a little more of a detail. He made sure to put on all four corners, and then wherever he finished, depending where the shit that basically lived, then he did Achas Lamai. I'm sorry, the Achas Lamai. He did 7 times on Tahori Shel Mizbeach, and that was the last thing he did.
Sorry, continue.
No, don't be sorry. This is very good. Right.
Well, depends.
Yeah, it depends. Whatever. Abel Tosis Yishonim lo svir le kirash, el Rabbi Yossi glili svir le. Gam kin de shnei parashas lo hoyu, velo tlige bezayre bakive. Hodein maschel mekeren, dremes mizrachis, mishum de mashma le, yotz al mizbeach hachi yetzav yam of mizbrachis from mizbeach. He walked 100% out of the space of the mizbeach. Does nafik le gamer mekula mizbeach, mishum de derech yimin tzerech lahakiv L'maschel mekerens fein is kshiyotze kol guf echutz l'mezbeach v'omed b'mizrach upon of l'mayre b'im yoshet yimine keren fein is v'havle derech yamin avl yoshet yod l'keren dreim is zeo derech smaer ad kan l'shoynei. These are my words of Toys Shoshana. Toys Shoshana said, I keep on saying this. This is very important to get. He walked out from there, from that corner, and he came here. So Toys Shoshana says, what does Rabbi Yosef Lili say? He has a choice. Which can? Now he stays face Mardu. His back is to Mizrach. So there is Dodom, here is Tzafim. So this is Yamin. This is Yamin. What the Tzemach Tzedek is going to say in a few minutes, that no one disagrees with this. Rabbi Akiva also agrees with this. So Rabbi Akiva says, I have a totally different, my orbit spins the opposite because of different reasons. I don't hold of Kol Pina Shat Apoina. If I would have held Kol Pina Shat Apoina, I would have held like Rabbi Yosef Aglili. So besides the halacha being like Rabbi Yosef Aglili, the fact is that everyone agrees to Rabbi Yosef Aglili if Kol Pina Shat Apoina. Bottom line is, he's standing right here, and the question is, he has to put blood on the corner of the Mizbeach. So what's called the right? What's called right? We're saying this is called right. Here is Mizrachis. That's the way he starts. Mizrachis. It's finest. And then he goes around. And he goes here. He goes here. So we see the also Lagabe the Menorah, the opposite of what we do. We see also Lagabe the Menorah, the opposite of what we do is correct.
Where's the ram?
There is no ram. Because Mizbeach Azov is a tiny thing. In the two Kohanim that came from the first Beis Hamikdash, and one said, I used to walk around. He said, how did I know? I learned it from Mizbeach Chitz, just like Mizbeach Chitz is supposed to walk around. Mizbeach Hazav is supposed to walk around. So the other Kohen Gadol answered him, but this whole Mizbeach is Amalama. You could put it on the top of one keren in Mizbeach. The Mizbeach Chitzon was huge. Mizbeach Chitzon, 32 by 32 by 28 high. Which think about it in feet, according to
like this stand, I'm standing in front of the stand.
The Mizbeach Azov is like this stand,
right, left, right,
and Mizbeach Apnimi is 6 times the size of the shul in the height. It's 64. It's 64 by 64, 64 feet by 64 feet by 60 feet high, a little less. It's huge.
So any karbanas that were done, the Kohen Gadol stood not
right because
the side of it.
He couldn't decide it. Right. That's why you had even a machloikis when he did the blood. Did he actually walk around, or is it that just he stood here and he went like this, like this, like this, and like this? Because what is it the big deal? It's not, and the last one is whatever, one up or down or down and up. So this is the Verashi Yeshlam the Sfira Lobinin Achiyetz Aviyamid B'Mizrach Yishum Mizbeach. Elo yoytze l'mizrach is deroim is nami have v'yotze. The masham epidish rashi the b'maskel mehecha maskel mekeren deroim is mizrach is einshan. Imkin bekahai ge'adnik shemoshe yod l'keren deroim is mizrach is and nikra klal derech small. He keep on saying that why Rashi didn't. The Tosfos Shalom shlogged up Rashi, but not that Rashi has a different mahalach of what's called derech small. I mean, Rashi ends up with a funny shita that there's the halach is like Rabbi Yosef Glili, and the halach is that that's where you're coming out. But these two things don't work because according to Rashi, if he read Kohen Gadol came out here, this would have been the first keren he meets with his right hand. Oh, so therefore he says if Yosef really holds, he came from there. So he came walking all the way from here, and this is the first one. But that's not the halacha. We know the halacha is that okay, Rashi says, don't bother me. Whatever. Talk to me another day. But the Tosfos Yishonim is very bothered. Bring me talk to me another day. I'm talking to you today. This is two things that went in the Beis Hamikdash. It's kasha hilchas. It's one of the three big kashas Tosfos Yishonim has. Therefore, it says he really came from there. And the Yotzel Mizbeach means he went all the way out, and he stands here now. Oh, now he's standing here. Not on the corner. He's standing like this. So pick up your right hand. Here's your right hand. Oh, so Kenem Mizrach is finest was the first one, and then you went around. So Rashi is what he said. Vilzogen is that Rashi does not argue halacha with the Tosfos Yishonim what is called derech yamin, and also the Akiva is not arguing with the Beis Glili what's made derech yamin. Just the Akiva holds that ein lamedim pnim mechutz, and the whole thing about it being the other being insulted, him avidim ala mitzvahs. Okay, let's skip the kids. So we already learned it. Beis, ina medivrei toises yishonim yeshiraya ledivrei ataz behilchas Chanukah. So simen tov reish ayin vav. Bezel shoyne. Shema shekosov kakamim. Kol pinas pirish escholas apina v'yesh l'chol yamin usmoil. Ozan oemrim kol sha'ata maschil tifna limin v'hayna bepam arishin sheyesh beiza yoyse v'fanacha tadlik ayoyse yamonim shelcha. Ilu nefarish tadlik arishin b'smoil k'dei she'achach tifna limin kosher. Loma yiyeh hasoif odif yoyse ma'aschola shela adboka. What's the Taz is saying? Elavadim estaber lefarish al aschola she'ata bo v'yesh lefanecha shnei tzdodim. Tikach l'cha yamin v'achkach telech l'smoil sheloyse yamin ad kan l'shoynei. That was the taina of the Taz and the Lavush. He said, I don't understand what you're talking about. Basically, he says, what we're doing is wrong. We're going with the Mahalach. What does it mean to go to the right? You have 3 candles on the menorah. You start from the left, and you're walking towards the right. But, stand. Why did you decide you have a choice to start from the left and go to the right, or from the right and go to the left? So what told you that going from the left to the right is more choshev than going from the right to the left? Ayid, you have to pick one way. Start from the right. That was the time of the Taz. Soon Tzemach Tzedek is going to say that the Taz is more right than he imagined he is. That's Tzemach Tzedek is going to taina in a minute. We'll talk about the taina of the Tzemach Tzedek. But at this point, Tzemach Tzedek is just saying that you see that the Taz is right because the whole yisoid of the idea called Pina Shata Poina. So all that he's showing him, starting with the Maram, but they all come after Rashi and Tosas Yishonim. The Maram was very choshev, the Bnei Reinus, the Bnei Asrach, and the Maril, and the Tumas Hadeshin. They're the later. Tumas Hadeshin is like on the border of what's the Rishonim and Acharanim. But we have to learn the sugya. The Rabbi Akiva, Rabbi Saglili, Rashi, Tosas Yishonim. So if you're learning Rashi and Tosas, you're learning the sugya. The Taz is gerecht. So what do I care that the Machaber said that the Maram did this way, and the Maril did this way, and the Bnei Reinus did this way, and Tumas Hadeshin did this way? They were wrong. That's what Tzemach Tzedek is saying. So they're wrong because if you learn the Gemara Rashi Tosfos, you see that they were wrong. The Kohen Gadol walked out of the Kodesh HaKadoshim. He turned around, and the Gemara says that this is the aside of the sugya Kopina Shata Poina Lo Yapoina Elu Yamin. And what does Yamin mean? He took his right hand and he put the blood right here. He didn't go like this. If you go like the Mechaber, you have 2 candles. So if you would true like the Mechaber, he should have gone like this, then gone like this. Elamai, the Lavush and the Taz is gerecht. That you have right and left. You have to do right. That's the.
We said there's 2 Kohanim. One Kohen says that I went around, and one.
But one said he did it.
They didn't went around. How did he? Which one he did first?
The same thing. It's just that the shaila is if Yalfina Yad Meregel. The Gemara is going to say in the third tedet that the shaila is called penis only beregel or also beyad, that you learn yad from regel. That you learn that yad from regel. So that's the bottom line of the raya that he brings. That's the bottom line of the raya that he brings. I just give an overview of what he goes till the end of the simon. Is that he says that this, he says, well, I don't understand. He says, when you already lit one candle, say you have 3, 4 candles. The candle you already lit is not part of the equation. You lit it already. Now, it says the 4th night of Hanukkah. I have 4 candles. This I already lit. So, one I already lit. Now, I have 3 candles to light. So, which one is the right? This is the right. So, I should light this. He says it's not the pshat.
Which face faces the 2
doesn't matter. What we're doing is wrong, 100% wrong. Said Tzemach Tzedek. We're saying we're trying to get to the right. Mezuch mekricht. But in the meantime, you're doing everything wrong. You're trying to do right, but you're doing everything wrong. You have 4 candles.
You're starting with the left.
Then forget about this. Now you have another 3. Look, you have a right hand and a left hand. Which is more right? This, do this. You have 2 left. Which is more right? Do this. Oh, that's one left. It's not like it's right or left now. It's one left. But what we're doing is we're going the other way. So it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. And that's why the end of the gist of the tshuva is that there's three dinim really. The later in the tshuva he's going to say that the Gemara says in the third teretz, and it seems to be that ein lamedim yad meregel. That if you went beregel take, that was a machlokes, or that was a machlokes. The machlokes between Rabbi Saglili and Rabbi Akiva was if you walked around beregel or you walked around beyad. If you walked around beyad, so ein lamedim yad meregel. There's no, if you walk beregel, so the Tzemach says that when it comes to the menorah, since the menorah you're not doing beregel, right? You're not moving your legs. You're standing in one place, even if you had this giant menorah, like
You actually do something with that. You have to go 3 steps.
Yeah.
It's
So,
3 steps of menorah.
yeah, it's going up. You're not going, but still, beregel means that you're turning a corner. Kopina shat the point. You're turning corners. So if you're doing biyad, then there wouldn't be but still says that Tzemach Tzedek, I think still that the Machab is wrong and the Taz is right. Why? Because besides the din kol pina shatapoina, there's a din to give chshivas more to the right and to the left. Lagabe levishas begodim. It's not true with pina. When you put on your shoes, you're supposed to put on your right shoe and then your left shoe. Something to do with kol pina shatapoina. So we don't learn it from the pasuk from Yam Shel Shloim. There's nothing to do with Yam Shel Shloim. Which shoe do you put on first? Your right shoe. Oh, tying is psachidish, but b'chlal, why? Because we give more chshivas to the right. So even if you're not going to say that the whole idea of kol pniya shatapoina, because the Indian of pniya shatapoina is only beregel and not biyad, still. So what? So basically there is.
When you do Shmona, you go to
If you look,
steps. When you do Shmona, you do 3 steps backward, forward. You start with the right.
Yeah, exactly. Why? Because we always give chivas to you mean first. So the Tzemach Tzedek saying that there is when you're walking around and you have 4 corners. By the way, I looked in the Encyclopedia Talmudis, and he says that the Gemara says kopina shatapoina, but many in the Gdukta Sefer and many other Mefarshim say that it doesn't mean kopina shatapoina. Kopina is shatapoina. Or the Yavit says kolpniyos, but according to the Tzemach Tzedek, it comes to as good the girsa kolpinos. It's only when you're going with an egel, and ein lamedim yad med egel. It's only when you're going egel and you kol pinos. When you're kerning a pina, yesh lecha pina, yesh pina. There's 4 corners. Whenever there's 4 corners, you have to go b'tzad yamin. But if you're going b'yad and there's no pina, then there's no rule of kol pina shatapoina b'yamin. But still, you have to be makdim yamin. Well, that's not as strict as kol pina shatapoina, but still it's a klal and chazal. So that's going to.
What's the Kohanim do with Bikas Taka?
So, it is Nizgala Sunday that there's a confusion. The Sunday I was saying that the Tzemach has 3 dinim really. One is when you're turning 4 corners. So there's derech yamin. It's very simple what derech yamin means, like Rabbi Yosef Aglili. Then there is if you're standing in one place and you're spinning. So there's derech ponim and derech achoyred, and he holds that again everything against the mechaber. Today everything is against the mechaber, so he doesn't know you have to turn to Yitzafan, which is turn. Yeah, you're turning left because essentially what you're really doing is you're taking your right foot and moving it first,
like we do Balchadai.
Yeah, you take your right.
You really move your left foot first, but you're swinging right.
Swinging. But here it's not because right and left. Here he holds that because that's the teva that people go this way, so that's called bia derech ponim, and this would be called bia derech achoyda. Shelav shmei bia. So it's a different lomdus. There's 3 lomdus.
Different mehalach.
There's one is when there's 4 corners, 4 pinos. 4 pinos, like here, there's 4 corners, and you're going with a degel. So then So then here, this is derech min. Go here. That's in this four corners. When you're spinning like a dreidel on one spot, so you go derech tzof. Why? Because that's called beteva.
You're moving.
I don't know why, but apparently beteva people turn more this way. So therefore that's called derech pona, and this would be called derech achoid. So I already asked a few Lubavitcher Kohanim. Most of the Lubavitcher Kohanim that I asked, they tell me that they spin this way. But at the Sunday, we was one coin sitting right here.
Yeah, it says,
Huh?
Yes, Yankovic is spins right.
He does right. Ay. See, but treatment.
don't know. We cover
Treatment-
our face.
Treatment says
His father went left.
his father is right. And I asked today another few Kohanim.
Right.
I have a few more Kohanim I asked today.
That's the line. 75% of the people move right, and the 25% Satmar.
How many-
Left. The big Hasidic move left.
Like a
They should go left.
Yeah, but some Hasidim go right.
Because I saw in the Darkei Chaim B'Sholem that he says that the Minchas Saluzer by Lechadoidi used to go left.
Right.
So Mastama the Chassidim that saw how he spent for Lechadoidi, the Kohanim would want to do like the Rebbe. What's the difference in Lechadoidi or Bichas Kohanim? Whatever is good for Lechadoidi is good for the Kohanim.
What in 770 the first 10 years. Right.
It's tiny oilums. It's hard to. You can't ask what the Kohanim did. If that's what the Rebbe did, you have to ask now, what are Lubavitcher Kohanim doing? So you're saying 75% are going.
75% people.
I'm saying, all in all,
Yes.
75% of Kohanim told you they're going Derech Dorim,
Yeah, like the Machaber.
like the Machaber, and 25 are going Derech Tzaf.
When there's bitches kind of by the courses, there's like a couple thousand
If
what
they
they
the
do.
video, so that's
Some like this.
And you can look in the videos. It's a little hard because it's Chalesim, but I mean, you can see if you look.
Yeah,
you do it.
if the guy make it right.
But how many Kohanim did you ask?
Asked one kind, Dr. Cohen in Landau said it was right. At the end, Glover says it was right. What's that? I don't know.
Alaglovich is a good one. I was waiting to ask it.
Yeah.
If he does, there must be other Lubavitchers doing it that way. He can't be that he's the only Lubavitcher that's doing it that way. I mean,
But there was holiday.
yeah, that's true.
I wonder what Aaron Einhorn does.
Yeah, ask him.
It was in her spot.
No, he wasn't here.
Was there Schmedley?
No, Schwartz left already by then. The only one that was here was Teitelbaum. So,
Maybe Montreal to do this first.
yeah, look,
What's his name?
listen, this is he's here. That this is what the Machaber says. This is if you Yid enter Shulchan Aruch, a coin opens Shulchan Aruch. Elevation is a Minchas Aluz at the Lubavitcher Rebbe doesn't know anything. So, Jason, you ask if you coin him. By next week, let us know what the coin what Svardim do. I'd love to hear what Svardim are doing. They probably do like the Machaber. Why not? I'd be surprised if they don't do like the Machaber. Okay, so there's 3 dinim.
When they pick up the hand, also they pick up the right hand first, that or just what at the same?
No, at the same time. Okay, so there's 3 dinim, and we'll leave for another time. So Lapoel, Leute zum Tzedek, kommt es a große Pelle. That how come we're not, probably that some Tzedek did the menorah like all the rest of Klal Yisrael did. So L'chayra, why? It's like a Pelle, Pliat, Sunnah, why you did it.
Yeah.
So I have a teretz, but I'll leave it a minute.
Well,
Anyway, maybe shall often that.
When's the Revolution?
Huh?
When's the Revolution? Sunday?
Oh, so either tomorrow night or Sunday. You may not that say them. I'm not going to keep it in suspense. But it's just too long. I think I have a good teretz. Emes a good teretz.
beautiful.
So Mitzvah Shem will stop at this. Maybe shall often that very soon that we should be standing in the Beis Hamikdash should be Yerushalayim discussing it exactly how the avodah should be done in the Beis Hamikdash Shlishi.
Amen. Yasher.
Thank you. Losses from right to left or something like that.
Right.
There's a concept like saying they're losing.
Maybe that says video. They don't know me. With smile.
Exactly.
So I listen. Depends. If I got confused a little here, me meaning with smile.
Queen cannot be confusing. He did that way they want.
Shukar for everyone that joined us.